one and all, if we had Dry Arabia all day and looked at these two, I'd forgive you for saying wham, wham, wham. But it might be a bam, thank you, man moment here. Game number 2 between Wham and Scatterbrain. Let's mark it up because we have got an early lead coming in for Wham. But this is going to be interesting. Scatterbrain loves his water. We are on Holy Island for game 2. Probably the most balanced map for water in the history of AV4. We've got an interesting matchup as well. English versus Japanese. Old guard versus new. Multiple ways, I guess, here. Scatterbrain, I've got to give him some credit, man. He's taking games off these water-esque maps from some high-level players. He's one of those people that actually seems to like water. I know it's crazy, but those do occasionally exist. I'm wondering how actually they're going to try to approach the one. We already had English versus Japanese today. That B versus Beastie game was absolutely mind-shattering. I imagine we're going to start off the same way here. Coca Township versus the Abbey of Kings. We're going to have the fast forward just for the early game. As we get into the feudal, we've got a little bit of catching up to do. A reminder, by the way, winner of this series overall will be going up against Vortex. So, like, what I'm kind of looking at is someone who can either bring the aggression or has a solid, rotund understanding of defense. Wham definitely ticks that box for being able to defend, I think it's fair to say. Like, historically, he's been one of the best at it. Right? He's the guy in the current meta, still finds a way to wall where most people can't. We have got double dock. As should be expected. Okay, wait. What? Scatterbrain, he hasn't gone water yet. No. He went for a very aggressive feudal timing to deny his opponent's docks from operating. Okay, this is kind of crazy. I wouldn't have expected this, but we do indeed have it. We've got Shinobi being queued up. He is on the move out. He's got the villager coming as well. Wait, is this the outpost play? No, he's just going to aggressively dock. Okay, dude, we've got this game. We may have a series, folks. Villagers are being pulled. Shinobi, you need to be respectful of this. It does take 3 flurries of attacks. He will back out of range. He needs to wait for reinforcements. The villager has been found. Second Shinobi is coming. It's going to be a split up of the villagers, though. This is dangerous. Could prove to be a mistake, actually, because if the Shinobi just goes after the villies... Yeah, Wham is now reacting accordingly. He's got all of them coming over. Remember, Scatterbrain has great vision due to the ninja. He does see it coming, so we'll back away. Meantime, he has got another ninja behind. 4th one getting queued up. Wham has got the resources for a tech play here. And it's gonna force Council Hall. Okay. Now, this is an interesting one. Usually, I'd say this is a big L. But Wham has fishing. Scatterbrain doesn't. I'll tell him the village is gonna get a lot worse than that. He's losing them! Snipes down 2 of the Shinobi. He loses 3 villages to that. Oh my god. The good news, at least, is he might get a boat out because the extra Shinobi have to camp here to defend. The bad news is Wham needs to get the hell home. I'm not liking this. He's actually short-bowing it. What? No, surely not. Well, the villagers, they've got to be dead. Formation Shuffle is going to help a little bit, but there's no wheelbarrow. This is insane. Scatterbrained pretty much just flashbanged him to the face. Heals off to go for the extra eco kills. Should be able to get those 2. So Lombos are at least on the way. But that is now 5 worker kills for Scatterbrain. On top of that, fishing is in trouble because the docks themselves cannot operate. He needs to get Lombos out ASAP here. The other problem we've got is there's already a lot of torch damage in. He queues up the galley. Good call there. Wham had it on the forward one, but that's not going to survive. I can't believe this, man. What an insane game. Scatterbrained. Can he actually torch through this quick enough is the big question mark. I think so. You don't really want to be running longbows out 1 by 1 here because, yeah, Scatterbrain can kill you. He has better movement speed. Zones him away. Burn damage coming in big. Second longbow is on the way, but I think it's going to be too late. He's going to lose both docks. Scatterbrain is going to be set up here. The only awkward part about this is the dock isn't that far forward, so it might be difficult to now set up the fishing. He'll need to get additional docks sorted here. What a crazy start to this game. So this is the thing. I know people have some very strong opinions on water. And I respect that, I understand that. But even if you hate water, can you not acknowledge how cool this is? This is a really bonkers map. I think Holy Island is still the best water map ever made for Age of Empires 3. The dynamics, the way that you can play land, you don't just immediately think water every single game. The way that you can recover even if you lose water, we've been seeing it more and more recently. I think it makes for a very fascinating addition to Age of Empires 4. Like, screw Archipelago. Like, at this point, why is this map not actually in the game by default? I think it deserves it. So, Doc isn't going to get repaired in time. And Scatterbrain does have, what, double archership and a springald, so he can basically scout all the way, all the time. It's going to be very difficult for Wham to get back underwater. Longbows can potentially give you away in that you can shove in and kill these boats because you have better range. But it's a lot of effort. I don't expect him to do it. We still don't have Scatterbrain on water, though. We are almost 10 minutes in the game, and it looks like he's just going to turn this into a full land play. Has got the outpost coming up. Good reaction as well. He also has the stone on standby for the arrow slits. Needs to gather... No, actually he's got enough, right? Yeah, he's got 50 gold, so he can get double emplacement here. Really important. He's played this correctly. When you're against the English, you need to go double outpost, because if you don't, they can stand on one side and hit your gold. So, good reaction by him. Wham now seeing this. I wonder, does he go all in? Yeah, he does. We've got blacksmiths. This is siege engineering. Scatterbrain has the correct reaction, though. He's got horsemen on the way. And we do now have fishing coming in. Okay, so Scatterbrain, I was wondering how he's going to afford horsemen long term. He's only got 8 sheep. He has been gathering berries to inflate himself a little bit here. Even got the Tawara to make the gathering rate worth it. Outpost is going to be going up. Wham is going to be kicking off a Steeled Arrow. Makes sense now that horsemen are revealed. But keep in mind, Scatterbrain already has a forge to commit into Undermesh with. Love that outpost reaction. So additional arrow slits to come in. Hasn't actually built any on the forward side. That's kind of smart, actually. The villagers should, in theory, be close enough to get into one of the 2 outposts. The tree line is a lot more threatened. So you want to keep your opponent further away from this. Especially now that Scatterbrain is adding in fishing. Can Scatterbrain go trade straight away? Interesting idea. Way too expensive. It's 100 wood, 100 gold. And for Japanese, like right now, you can easily get gold. I don't really think... There's not really any situation on 1v1s where I've looked and thought water trade is worth it early. Because at this stage in the game, food is harder to come by. So it's much better to get your hands on fishing. Right? And then in the mid-game, late game, yes, Japan needs so much gold to feel good in the game. So once you have full water control, like down the line, water trade makes so much sense. So horseman are going to be able to ride out. The spin reaction is coming in, so we'll have to belay that order. Has got archery ranges on the way. I like this. Yumi can actually stomp the crotches off of English longbows if you get enough of them. It's kind of like a poor man's HRE. So HRE, basically, with marching drills, can like destroy English because of the movement speed. And you might say, oh yeah, but what if he adds in men-at-arms? Well, that's the interesting thing. Yumi's similar to HRE. What would happen there is you basically would just ignore the men-at-arms and run past them. It does require quantity, so he needs to make sure he's got the scale right. And it is very difficult when your opponent plays counterable like this. But in theory, with the skill economy here, after maybe 3 or 4 minutes of pressure from Wham, Scatterbrain's economy will be undeniably in a better position than Wham's. Pro Scout English when? If there was ever a game, it won't be this game. And no, he has to keep pressure up now. You know, you want to know the limitations of Pro Scouts? I'd say the limitation of Pro Scouts is after losing water, going Pro Scouts when your opponent's now going to go fish. Maybe you could make it work straight away against fishing. I still think it's difficult because, like, you're choosing to get safe food that gathers faster versus getting extra economy units. Look at this dive. Hello, Wham. Oh, he's punishing the lack of fortification here. He builds the ram right underneath the thing. Remember, the fortification coming in the other one, but the arrow slits were never committed to here. So villager's dead. Great grab. Ram follow-up here. Could even think about torching the second one. There's only one villager inside this. Even if he gets the fortifications up, the firepower is lacking here. Yeah, Scatterbrain, this is very, very well tempered. If he ran in too quickly the horseman Yumi, he loses the fight. He has to wait until he's got a key mass. Looks like he might have it just in time to at least retain control of the gold. Yumi are struggling to get in here. Undermesh has been pried, but the Steel Arrow not there yet. Spearmen are now going to commit. We'll go in for the ram. Remember, horsemen do get bonus damage against that, so it should be an easy mop-up. However, the spearmen are quick to react here. Line is definitely thinning. It's a lot of longbows, though, and the problem now for Scatterbrain is he lacks the mass of horsemen to actually break this. So gold now denied. Another worker kill easily found. And I'm concerned, actually, because there's a follow-up play now. Why is Scatterbrain still ahead on economy, guys? He lost villages as well. Surely it should be this far. It's the fishing. What's to stop the ram heading over there? Ram instead is going to go after the housing to try and pop block his opponent, but he could just as easily send this over to the docks now, inhibiting Scatterbrain's ability to even get more horsemen. Transport ship and dock on island? That would be kind of sick, actually. We never see that. In fact, like, it's kind of worth it here. Because if you can dock this area, it's closer to a lot of the deep water fish. Obviously, the more ideal is build up the coast. But as a backup option, it's actually not terrible. In some cases, like the north side fish, it could be argued to be superior. So, upside at least for Japan, they can keep dodging this problem like the plague. Downside is just really no access to gold right now in this game. So even if Scatterbrain gets the food surge going, he needs to address this in age. He can't just rush castle. Does at least get the snipe on the ram there. Wow, this is a strong blob. 15 spearmen, 25 archers. What's Scatterbrain thinking? What he could be thinking here, which would be quite smart, is intercept reinforcements. You know, maybe send the horsemen in. He can't get him in Uma Bannerman, which is really unfortunate because he just doesn't have the gold. But if he gets around the back, he could easily just stab these down. You could theoretically, now that the outpost is gone, go for the gold here. But I think ideally you need to intercept reinforcements. Wham is just blobbing for an all-in. And these numbers aren't indicative of a true military count. You feel like you have to take 10 away from Scatterbrain because Yumi, they're all about massing. And you see how oh my god, the start of these fights is ugly. Villagers get found out, trying to walk out for the deer. He's coming in for punishment. I don't know what happened with this tree line. This is a wide spread. Whoa, no. Scatterbrain just dodged a big problem there. Those 6 villagers were stuck. If only he had trade ships. If he had trade ships, I think he'd be dead already. If he had trade ships, he wouldn't have the food to have gotten all this horsemen. Like, trade-offs, right? Like, this is like watching an Ottoman game and going, if only he had 16 great bombards. It's like, how does he get 16 great bombards, right? It's that same situation. Like, RTSs are a trade-off. You make a choice, you make a sacrifice. You can't have it all. So what's Wham's out here? Is this King's Palace for scaling? I think he can get away with it here. Like, where's the counter-offensive from Scatterbrain? There's an argument he's been a little bit too defensive here. Understandably so, with the pressure on his doorstep. Horsemen are now going to go for a dive. Hello. This is awkward. If there's one thing English players hate more than anything, it's horsemen. Because your villagers can't defend themselves. Normally, villagers to this would just shivs out, do damage, then follow up with the spearmen. But you just have to run because of the ranged attacks. So, great read by Scatterbrain. Does extend the eco lead. He's going to be behind on his tech timing. One cool thing here for SB to keep in mind is if he keeps scaling Yumi, there's a really cool play into Castle Yumi upgrade that usually gets slept on. At that point, they become very clean raiders at killing villagers. They trade, I'd say, relatively well, especially with like Steel Arrow timings and Yumi Bannerman. Because remember, the thing about Yumi Bannerman, why Yumi Bannerman usually feels almost trivial and you want to mock it, is because in Feudal Age, Yumi damage is so low, percentile increases are a meme. But as you increase your base damage, percentile increases become better, right? It's why we've talked about Inspired Warriors being better for Dragon than HRE. Because for Dragon, a Gilded Knight's base damage is substantially higher. So a 15% DPS increase is much more valuable. So Outpost now coming up. It looks like Scatterbrain has found his way onto the gold secure. He's going to look to mirror the castle play, but he's going to be later. And Wham did go for the scale point. Okay, like overall, I like Wham's position in this game. It's kind of crazy. And this is what I meant about Holy Island. Holy Island just has so much divergent gameplay. It's not what it once was. I think when this map got a bad rap was back when it was just kind of like an it's a GG of, you know, I lost water, there's no comeback. I feel like we're far past that point. Would you guys not agree? Like, a year ago even, would you see someone get back into a game like this? I'd wager no. Definitely when Holy Island got introduced in the first year of its existence, hell no. But now we have a game where both sides have upsides. Wham's going to be prepping for that land economy. Scatterbrain still has full water control. It is a little bit scary because Wham can find ways back underwater, especially with 37 longbows. If he ever stops pressuring, he can come back, re-secure water, and then contest. This one. Are going to be able to dive in here. A lot of them are almost dead, though. Okay. I don't think this was the raid that Scatterbrain was looking for, no. Most health bars just a bit too underwhelming. Floating Gate is coming in, but check this! He spots him out! He forces the cancel! And now you've got problems. Scatterbrain! 20 villagers, there's nowhere to go! Needs a transport ship right now. Sick! Scatterbrain, 5 seconds to get them out. He's still going to lose workers, but he mitigates the losses. So he can transpo them out for gold on the central island. It is a double 8k spawn. A lot of safety there for Scatterbrain. And important as well, because he didn't want that fight. It's veteran longbows. These Yumi would have been annihilated. He was almost forced to take a bad engagement. Dodges death. Like it's the plague, but now the dive does come in for the punishment point. Wham knew the tech was happening. He was never going to stop here. Moving in onto the tree line. Veteran CV Yumi has been queued up. It's 24 seconds out. If he can get that without losing anything major, he can push this away. Villagers are going to be found again, though. They are in range. So, Wham, he could snipe a few, but maybe a little bit tunnel vision here. He's going to turn around now for the fight. Horsemen need to circle around the back. Spearmen are going to have to pull back. Yumi upgrade just 5 seconds away. The Lombos right now are overkilling these squishy Yumi. There's the upgrade now, so able to trade out against this. Spearman already moved. Horseman can now go in for the cleanup. Elsewhere, we have got another attempt to raid, but there's no exposed economy over here, so it's going to be a mop-up of the main army. Wham, now reduced down to rubble. He has got all the breathing space for scaling villages on land. Right now, we're talking 40 villages to 67. Which means that Scatterbrain needs to go hunting. Yumi looks so cool. It's the hats, right? They look a bit derpy when they form into formation like that. So what does Scatterbrain do from here? I doubt 2TC. I think actually what would be nice for him is just sneak out and set up a dock here. You need the vision here because at any moment Wham could come back here. And that's Samurai now to follow up. So Japanese are looking for that premium unit. Good choice as well, considering Wham is reacting into men-at-arms. His choice makes sense against Yumi. They do, like, no damage to these boys. Look at it. It's 6 armor, and you do 7 damage. But the amount of Samurai read by Scatterbrain is correct. He just needs to be careful about the way he takes this fight. You essentially want to ignore the men-at-arms and run past them. Problem is, instead, Scatterbrain is standing his ground. And this is how you start to lose fights. So imagine this game if at this point instead Scatterbrain split into 2 groups and went west and left and east, right? Left and right. Men-at-arms aren't going to keep up. The longbows that they show up are still outnumbered and die. Crossbows are going to be terrible in that trade. Like, at that point, Wham gets idled up, and with 72 villages, there's no denying he's going to lose a lot. Because at this point, he only has safety for, what, about 30 of them? So kind of a missed op for Scatterbrained. He is now going to be switching in Onimusha to answer the Men-at-arms. The reason why he goes Onimusha instead of going for Samurai is he already saw Wham was going crossbows. So it is the correct call. It's going to be tricky still, because Onimusha can still lose these type of engagements. But I think what Scatterbrain is thinking about is what we talked about with the Yumi just a second ago. Let's raid instead. That's Samurai. Nice micro there. Gets several worker kills. More importantly, keeps it open. And even more important than that. No, Wham is so immediate on the reaction there. He glanced at the Shinto, immediately reacts, pulls away. The rest of the army is coming, so should be able to secure this relic. Needs to be quick about it, because Wham has made that his target objective. Gold life is good, folks. Scatterbrained shouldn't really have to worry about running out anytime soon, but the relics long-term in the game does become a key defining factor, as we've seen time and time again. You can drop fake relic? You mean Yorishiro? I don't think you do that. The Yorishiro drop, like, where's he gone? He's gone Archery Ranges right now because he's trying to blow up Onimusha. I think next you need it for the additional transition. So you're probably looking at another stables. He just doesn't have enough production, right? Like, I'm a bit worried, actually, that the Men-at-arms is getting a bit out of control. Why no trade to water? He doesn't need it. He's got loads of gold. Like, gold isn't his problem right now. Scatterbrain's problem is food. If anything, what he needs is a dock here and fishing here. Like, that's actually a play he could now do. It's just, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the game. We just never see anyone do that play. So it's never on your mind to commit to it. Yumi now diving in. He's A-clicking into the Men-at-arms. I mean, good for the Onimusha, but terrible for Yumi. I love that micro. Wham immediately uses longbows onto the back. He's sniping down the counter. He's kind of front-lining a bit too much with his range units here. The Men-at-arms are licking around the other side, but it's still aggro draw. Like, at this stage, what's making this fight terrible for Scatterbrain is that Wham is simply out-microing. One of them is targeting the counter units. The other is just A-clicking the fight. Finally, though, we do have a switch up. Scatterbrain is now going after the backline longbows. So we'll rebalance things towards the end. And at this point, like, it feels a bit better. You know, you don't really want to be keeping on Yumi here. You've seen that they're countered out. You want to be getting off them. So the best thing you can do now is basically trade them out for better value units as much as possible. And now we'll see him back away. Mounted Samurai need to be following this up. We still have no raiding. No, for Scatterbrain, he's probably paranoid that he can't actually send anything extra around. But this is where, like, Japan can feel weird. You go Onimusha, you go Mounted Samurai, you want to raid. If you're sitting in your base, you feel really bad. It's kind of like when someone blobs knights. Like, we've seen they use them defensively, but you get to a stage where like, okay, let's peel off 4 or 5 of these and raid. Otherwise, you just pay the premium for a unit that isn't taking advantage of what it can do well. All right, 1s if you think Wham's going to win this, 2s if you think Scatterbrain's going to take it. Oh, Wham's looking pretty solid still. He's going to have 4 relics. To make matters worse for Scatterbrained. Wait, did he take the relic from here? Oh my god, he did. He took it from the shoreline, which is usually very hard against the person who wins water. But he has 4 relics. To make matters even worse for Scatterbrained, once English get into Imperial, they've got all that gold gen from enclosures. So, like, gold is not going to be a problem, especially with this civ that doesn't really use as much gold as Japan in the late game. Hyper long-term, Japanese is going to have an issue with gold here. Because he's not actually, like, setting up... Oh, wait. Pause forts. We do have traders now coming in. So he has now got that starting to insulate him. Still This is more important. I like that he's done this. He's moving in for the docks now. He's going to go for the fish. This is what was missing, by the way. It's what was really hampering his efficiency, right? His scalability here. Mount Samurai are now starting to reach into farms. Top that. Onimusha with a backstab. Will get intercepted, but I love that he had that second wave to try and hit into the main economy. So we'll get away with Onimusha just in time. Kabutoya is very much worth it here. Because you need to kind of skirt around the threat now. It's a lot of longbows. The Mount Samurai looking for a lot of kills, and they'll find it. Holy crap. Wham. Now over 10 workers behind. Yeah, he got shrunk down to size there. You can see it in the worker kill count. Okay. I'm glad, man. I thought Scatbrain was being a little bit too hesitant here. Really flipped things. People talking about Shogunate coming in? Possible. It's going to be gathering the stone, but this is just through gold gathering. It's not intended. So you might just take the upgrade anyway. It also makes you very hard to dive at home. The alternative is you go for second TC and really set up like a land transition, but I don't think he has any interest in that. Screaming ladies are going to start fighting. They're very loud. Looks like he's going to start sniping this on the men arms. The Mountain Samurai front line is spinning fast here. Got to start respecting this attack speed aura. At this stage, honestly, Springles. Scatbrain Springles would really just change the full dynamic here. Wham's just blobbing meat. Onimusha, we've just seen they just don't feel good in these direct exchanges like this. Okay if you have enough units to absorb, but like realistically, how are you keeping the Mountain Samurai Surge going? I think genuinely, especially now that he's got trade coming in, Springolds just win. He's 6 trader ships, and he's generating 44 wood and 44 gold. That covers it, right? Remember, Springolds are actually quite cheap these days. So we have got the Shogunate in. He did go for the Euroshiro drop there in the end. It's just going to be more stables. Instead, he's switching horsemen, but love this from Wham. There's just not enough pressure, right? Or is there? Hold up. He wants more gold. Okay, so I think Wham is slightly paranoid about the gold. There we go. Berkshire coming in. This also... Wait. Did he see the trade ship? Oh my god, this is reaction to the trade. He saw the trade ship go by because of the weird behavior. I don't know how this hasn't been fixed, but guys, look at the marker on the map. Look at where the trade ships go. They feel uncomfortable being at deep sea too long. So because they came to the shoreline, Wham is now building the Berkshire as a reaction, and he will drop it in a blocker position against this, meaning that Scatbrain, if he wants to trade safely, will have to manually click them every time. Which, in a high, intense, late-game situation, is far too much APM. It's going to be moving across to try and intercept this. What is up, Wicked Skies? I see you with the sub. Thank you very much. Wham will not subscribe. Will not submit to bullying. Onimusha trying to get some snipe-ins, but it's just not going to work with the A-click. Berkshire is definitely going to complete here. No hope in hell. Scatbrain. Not only does Wham get his hands on the gold, but he stops your own as well. Not sure where that relic... Wait, didn't he have that relic at home? What's it doing here? Scatbrain now an age behind. Does at least have an economy lead, but the trade idea is going to start failing him now. He does still have a lot of limited gold. But this is harsh, man. Like, look at it. Oh, come on. Like, bruh. No, please, please. It's going to get so much worse than that, guys. The whole point in this Berkshire, like, we talked about the gold. We talked about the denial. We mentioned at the start the dock drop. This is a triple value Berkshire. This might be the single most valuable Berkshire you have seen in years. It does everything. It even comes with a cup holder. I think. I haven't checked every room, but I've heard rumors. And good eyeballs. Like, if Scatbrain does build a dock here, he can fix the problem. Presumably. I'm not sure I trust the pathing still. But like, once again, like, there's a lot of elements in this game that Scatterbrain could have made easier on himself with docks here. It's just not something you think of in the moment. It's very rare to encounter a player that will be thinking that way. The cup holder seals the deal. There you go. Yours for the low, low price of 20 gifted subs. Boom. Hey, that's a bargain. This thing costs 3,600 resources, okay? And considering one resource is one giant stack of ham, that's bloody expensive. You guys know how much a lump of ham like that would cost in the current economy? Whew. Dive in here, though. The Tanagashi Gunsmith coming up from Scatterbrain. No way Wham can stay here. Good reaction by Scatterbrain. He didn't panic, didn't fold. The Shogunate is just going to hold on. So Wham realizes the overextension. We'll have to back away. Age 4 now reached for SB. Wait, is he doing poor man trade? I don't think so. Surely not. I mean, there's Carracks, though. Yeah, people always immediately go Carracks, but it does set you up to get countered by demos. Then again, like, we've got infinite gold. Why don't we just queue up another one? You can even just open 2 archer ships and follow up Carracks afterwards. Center of the map, we have got a push out here. Scatterbrain. Hello. The target fire's on point from Wham, though. This is problematic. The Spearmen are going to chase away the Onimusha. The glass cannons, they can't stand still. And that means the crossbows get to deny it all. This is getting worrisome. Scatterbrain now down to 58 villages to 109 in this game. 33 fishing boats from Scatterbrain. And they are they over-gathering? I think so. Long distance in a lot of cases. He doesn't even cancel the castle. What? Those aren't cheap. 1,200 resources down the drain. He has got spare to throw around here. I just don't think he's got time to build them up. Scatterbrain now reacting with the Otakabune. Okay, why though? Our Otakabune is designed to deal better with units than buildings. And there's a Barch here. Maybe he feels like it can beat Carracks. That would be my guess here. But we do indeed have the Otakabune. Okay, did I put enough emotion behind that? I mean, this unit did get buffed recently. We actually had a really cool game between, was it Core and Numenor, I think? On Oases, where he basically had, like, it's on YouTube. I think it's called the best guarded pond in the history of AoE4. And these things actually almost got him, like, a win on Sacred Sites. So, like, in fairness, actually not bad at dealing with demo plays. I'm wondering how Scatterbrain's going to deal with land, though. He's adding in a lot of Otakebunes when he needs more military on land. The numbers are deceitful here. 10 of his population right here is on water. He's outnumbered. He's outgunned. Even though he's the one with the guns. And it's because of this. Attack speed aura comes in. Full on A-click into the battle. Scatterbrain, he just doesn't have a front line here. Gold on the south side, about to get denied out. He does have the castle up. That should buy some time, but we already see the bombards on the way for Wham. And his own switch up in the hand cannon is coming. Oh, no, no. Excuse me, sir. No. Only 3 to a bush, thank you very much. Looks like he's going to die. Wait, what? Wham doesn't care. He's like, oh no, one of us dies every 4 seconds? How many of you died in 4 seconds? Also just idles out the gold. Scatterbrain has still got the other 8k over here. Wham does know about that, right? No, he never scouted, so he might assume it's a 1 8k spawn. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, from what I can remember, we've had Holy Island games where you only get 1 8k there. It's not guaranteed to have 2. Very important detail. Because sometimes it even has a 6th relic here. So yeah, Holy Island has a lot of interesting variability. Double 8k on the island, 6 relics instead of 5. The question now is going to be 2 instead of 1. Wham, already 1 game up. He's looked in firm control for several minutes now. Scatterbrain has got the quality of the hand cannoneers, but he has got Yuumi. The trade-off here is going to be potential network of Citadels plus hand cannoneers coming in from the English. Nice contest. And too much of one. GG gets called. Even when it's on water, even with the 6-star, somehow, this crafty, weaselly Canadian finds a way out of the chokehold.